Yesterday was so surreal. It was Michelle's funeral yesterday. Because of this situation, we couldn't go to the funeral. And although that really does sadden me, I've decided I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to dwell there at the moment. What I need to do is concentrate on those good memories. What I need to do is to remember the friendship. So, what Michelle's family did was to find out where the route would go for Michelle's funeral. So they named all the avenues and the streets that the hearse would go down. We shared posts on Facebook, so other anti-frackers, other friends in the community. Michelle had a big life. It wasn't just about fracking. She was an animal rights activist. She's done a lot during her life. Lots of friends, people from the community. So those people were notified that if we keep the social distance, we could just space out along the route and say our final goodbyes to Michelle. And that's what we decided to do. So my husband Brian and I drove up to Blackpool and met a few others in the car park, keeping our distance, of course. We spaced out along the road and waited for Michelle to come through in the hearse. Straight after that, Brian and I joined the funeral procession and we followed them through all the way to the crematorium. It was lovely to see different pockets, different groups of people actually there waving, blowing kisses, clapping. You know, people had come out to say goodbye to Michelle. That was lovely to see. Didn't know a lot of faces. Some faces we did know, obviously, but obviously different parts of Michelle's life we didn't know who those other people were, but they were there. As I say, we drove all the way to the Cran, watched the cars go in, and then we obviously had to stay outside. Brian and I just were numb when we had to stop outside, you know, and just sit there. It was like, it was surreal. It just didn't feel real. Then we noticed a friend parked across the street. So we started chatting and talking away. This guy was an anti-fracker. Sometimes anti-frackers have in common that they have this ethos of questioning everything. Not all of them I might have, but some of them. And this guy was on that level. He was a question everything type of guy. We were talking about the validity of the virus, what we thought of the lockdown, and you know, people may say, oh, there's conspiracy theorists to say a virus doesn't travel person to person. And of course, bearing in mind, whilst we're saying this, we're actually at the funeral of our friend Michelle, who has legally been registered as dying of the virus. So we're actually torn in our thoughts, you know. We wouldn't say we were truthers, but we're on the truth of verge of looking for the correct answers. And by doing that, it means you've actively got to seek the other side of the argument, or, you know, all sides of the argument, to try and discern what you yourself actually think the truth is and where it lies in accordance with nature and everything else along the way. This is quite surreal. You're standing at a funeral and you're talking amongst yourselves and you think, well, you know a virus exists, but you don't necessarily think that it's existing in the way that it's being projected to at the moment by the government, by the news, by scientists, by people in the street, by everyone you talk to. But you've got to discern for yourself what you actually think. Did I take my son out of school? Yes. Did I want him round other people thinking he might bring the illness home to himself, to me and his dad? Yes, I took him out of school. I didn't want him there. Do I think I can't hug people? I'm torn. I hugged that guy at that funeral yesterday and wholeheartedly believed that I'm not contagious and he's not contagious to me, or the three-step scenario that we're in, it might be the person you take it home to, etc. But at the same time, would I tell everybody else to go out and circulate? No. I've got to do what I think is right for me, and you've got to do what you think is right for you. But at the same time, the law is telling us Michelle has died from COVID. I'm torn. I'm torn on the implications of medical trials. I'm torn on the implications of vaccines. At the same time, our friend has died, and we can't mourn her in the traditional way. And we're stood there at the roadside outside of a crematorium discussing, have they lied to us? Has underhand tactics been used? Or am I blatantly wrong and I have to question why I'm thinking this in the first place? It's like religion, it's like politics. Only you can come to your own ethos and your own way of thought. And at the moment, I'm still torn. As I say, I'm trying to put that happy slant on, and I'm trying to only think of the positives, and I'm enjoying time at home with my family. I'm enjoying less intrusion in my family. I'm suffering financially, so my husband's not getting anywhere near the pay he should be getting, although he's working full time, and I'm losing friends. And I don't know how to balance it. I don't know how to deal with it. And I don't know if I'm going to cause myself problems for the future, because I'm not putting it on the back burner. I am acknowledging what is happening, but I can't use any real rationale. I can't say that is 100% true. I can only do what I feel is right for me. I think I'm getting confused now. But I just want to say, it is trying times. We are losing people. But we always have, and I'm not taking away that we've lost Michelle, because we've always lost people, but we always have lost people. But is it due to COVID? I'm not sure.